You were listening to episode 191 of the Game Deflators Podcast. My name's John, and I'm joined by Ryan.
Hey, everybody, here at the Game Deflators Podcast, we like to talk about games we've recently picked up, games we're currently playing, and one man's trash is another man's treasure in this week's Inflation Deflation Challenge.
So, Ryan is talking about Devil's Third. We talked about it. Yeah.
Yes, I very much am.
Yeah, so we played some Devil's Third on the Wii U. I ended up getting a digital copy of this not too long ago because I'm like, you know what? The Wii store's closing, or really the Nintendo store for Wii U is going to be closing up pretty soon. Let's get that game because I'm not going to crack open my sealed version that I have. And, you know, while I think it's a great decision that I did that, I also think it was a very terrible decision that I did that.
You'll play through that whole game eventually.
At some point, I'll play through that whole game. All right, but that's what we're going to talk about today in the Inflation Deflation. Also this week, we're going to be talking about the potential of Mario Kart Tour being on PC. We are also going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch Pro being unveiled in September, which is a rumor, of course. And the last thing here is a Sony patent is going to allow accessories from old PlayStations to work on new consoles. Definitely an interesting piece on there, and I'm sure we'll have some back and forth discussion. But first, you can find this podcast on thegamedeflators.com. You can find us on social media at The Game Deflators on Instagram and Facebook, and at Game Deflators on Twitter. And, of course, leave us a 5-star review on all those wonderful podcast applications that you can hear us on. Pickups. Ryan, I had a stupid amount of pickups this week. Like, stupid. It's more so, like, right after I hung up with you last week, or after you left, or after we finished talking, really, with our podcast episode, I went off to go pick up a game, and it was Blue Reflection 2 on the PS4. It shot up in value on Amazon. I knew GameStop had a copy, so I was like, screw it, let me just go get it before this game hits $60-$70. And then I'm left wondering why I didn't pay $30 when I could have just paid $30. So picked that up, and then afterwards decided to hit up some thrift stores and pawn shops and all that. One of the pawn shops I went to, as I'm looking around, a gentleman walks in and says, hey, I've got a bag of games here that I want to sell. Pawn shop looks at it, pulls out some PS4 games, says, we don't do older games, or we don't sell older games, or they don't sell well, whatever it was. And I looked at him and said, I'll go ahead and buy them from you. And of course, to my delight, there was a number of PlayStation 2 games, SSX Tricky, Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, a case that had Paper Mario on the GameCube, but inside was a Super Smash Bros. Melee loose copy, Sonic Mega Collection, Grand Theft Auto games, a whole bunch of crap. Twisted Metal Black. On top of that, a PlayStation 2 console, and then a Wii U console without any of the hookups, just the console itself. Honestly, I kind of want to hold on to the Wii U console just in case mine dies at some point. I have an extra.
Yeah.
That's probably honestly not a bad idea.
I mean, as opposed to having to buy an extra one down the road, might as well just hang on to an extra one now. Like, I have 2 Wiis, and I probably will never use either of them again.
I've got like 4 Wiis. And same with GameCubes. It's like, you never know when those consoles are going to bust. So, I mean, I'm easily going to, like, I'll sell the PlayStation 2 and make my money back for the most part on what I paid, but I paid $50. So the guy, we ended up running to like a Walmart to do, so I can, take out some money. And I guess 53 when you consider the fee for taking out money from a, ATM that's not your
rogue
bank.
ATM.
Yeah. So it was a reputable ATM. It's not a gas station ATM, but
Man, dude, I went and got a haircut at a place a couple weeks ago, and they're like, we don't take card, but we have an ATM. I was like, you just want my $3, don't you?
That's all it is. Yeah. The owner of the haircut place probably like owns the machine as well and gets all the fees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it was interesting. I mean, when I was kind of negotiating with the guy, I was like, hey, what do you want? Like, they gave him $40, by the way, for all of his PlayStation 4 games and a couple Wii U games, which kind of sucks because I should have just been like, hey, I'll just give you more than whatever they're paying you, and just kind of been done with it and gotten kicked out of a pawn shop. But I wasn't about to do that. So walked out, and the guy's like, hey, $60. I'm like, well, I don't know if it all works, but I'll give you 50. So, you always got to try and go down as much as you can, right, on deals like this. Also hitting up those thrift stores, I picked up a PlayStation 4 controller. I picked up a Star Wars audiobook, actually, called Red Harvest. That apparently complete goes for like anywhere from like $100 to $300. There's only like 5 of them listed on eBay right now, so that was kind of cool. And then I also got Halo 3 and 4 as well. And I'm trying to think of any other games I got. No, that was it. And then I'm not going to say pick up necessarily, but I picked up a bunch of games this week and started doing a full audit of the game collection, which has been pretty cool. I didn't realize how many of my games were like listed as item only, but they were actually complete in box, or they had like no manual, and I had it marked as a manual and so on. So I went through both PlayStation 2 and PSP, and I'm currently on PS3. I want to say I'm on letter N right now on PS3. And then, of course, I'm just going to go through the entirety of my collection and start kind of plotting away on price charting. And then as far as what I'm playing, Elden Ring, I am now at level 79. I've got my Moonveil Katana to a +6. I'm looking for a Sombering Stone +7, so I can go ahead and add that on. I'm also looking to expand my build to be a little bit more faith build as well, so that way I can wield a different weapon. There's like a sword of night and fire or something.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool one.
I do have that weapon, so I was like, well, I might as well, level up faith.
I think that's the one he was using in the speed run.
Yeah, it's actually apparently very good for speedrunning because it's just so versatile and easy to use from the get-go. I've also considered using one of those, whatever the hell they're called, the embryos or whatever it is that you pick up, and you can kind of change your character class all over again and redistribute your stats. I've been considering doing that and going like mage, but I don't know. I kind of like the difficulty of diving in and having to, fight via melee. I feel it's just harder. Like honestly, a lot of these battles, if I had just regular spells, I probably would have dismantled every boss so far within like the first couple, tries. But the fact that I'm going straight melee build is kind of hard, And
the Moonveil Katana is not a straight melee.
It is not straight melee.
It shoots lasers out of the freaking sword.
Yeah, but the downfall of that is that I don't have the ability to like...
Well, you don't have mana the way that I do.
That, and also I just don't have the ability to add any magic. So like if there's a certain boss, it's, hey, this boss is very weak against fire, you should probably use fire against it. I don't have that because I can't customize
you
it.
Need it.
Well, yeah, I would say I do sometimes. Like,
I mean, I tried, so to get the Moonveil, I was having a hard time with the fire drake, whatever it's called, the magma worm. Yeah. So I did that castle with all the creepy hands and beat that because you get a thing behind there that's like a frost enchantment for your weapon. And then I was using that to fight the magma dragon. I don't think it helped me at all. I think just the levels that I got from going and doing more content did way more work than that did.
I actually, to beat that magma worm, I went straight spiked club +3. That's all I did on mine. So, I mean, I've taken a very difficult path in this game. Like, I don't have the best armor. My weapon is all right. I'm very spread out in terms of my stats, which is, kind of me wanting to do certain things, like wanting to use a certain weapon or wanting to equip
I had to
shield.
Bring my strength up to, like, within reach so that I can equip other emblems to be able to equip the lance so that I can use it, because I love using the lance.
So the bosses that I just beat, I beat Elman the Briar, I think it is. He's in the Shadow Castle, which is pretty interesting. The guy's ridiculously hard.
I don't think I got to that part.
Yeah, it's an optional boss.
What's he look like?
He basically is...
Or what's his name? I gotta look him up.
Something Briar. It's in a Shadow Castle. I think it's Elman or Elmer the Briar, I think is what it's called. But I beat that last night. I don't know how many tries that took me, but I ended up having the Spirit Ashes that had like the 5 shielded guys. And so that was good to offer up as a distraction as I...
Yeah, did not fight this dude.
Yeah, so I beat him last night. And then I also beat the guy that you stay... I forget his name. Ragdon or Radagon, whatever his name is. The festival.
Yeah, Radigan.
Yeah,
Radigan?
So, I don't remember, but yeah. I beat him, and it was on, obviously a horse the entire time.
That was a dope fight.
Shooting arrows as I just kept summoning in the other players to help me out. Yeah, there was no way in hell I was doing that like close hand combat.
I got a little bit more mixed up in it when I did it. which made it hard to have to go run back out and resummon everything. But
Yeah.
it took me a good handful of tries. I think I had to go grind out a little bit more HP for that.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't so much needing to grind out HP. It was more so just kind of understanding the pattern better and just making sure that I, was at a good enough distance, could keep hitting them with arrows. I actually got the serpent bow and made sure that I put that to like level 5 or 6, and I had like magic arrows that I was using. So that kind of worked out. But yeah, so I went ahead and beat him, and then the underground area, the Siofra well.
Yeah.
I beat one of those creatures, and then I went through to the like underground city. I forget its name, but it's in the same general area.
That place is dope.
I have the 2 gargoyles I still have to beat.
Yeah.
So with them,
How about those those dudes with the arrows, man?
oh my god, dude.
They're the worst.
Yeah, the minotaurs or whatever with the arrows. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Just
Takes off,
around
like,
a corner.
yeah, it just takes off like half your health in one hit. So that's the area I'm kind of messing with right now. I'm all over the place with the game, but I've unlocked a crap ton of the map, and I really just got that northeast section.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I really got unlocked, but I just got to like Mount, I think it's Gelmer or Geimer. That's the area that I just got to last night, and I've just been kind of rolling around and doing things.
There's lots of cool stuff up in that area. Like, I feel like once you get out of like Ionia or whatever the lake area is,
Yeah.
once you get out of there, I feel like there's a lot of diversity in the spot, because like the whole first area feels very much the same, like even as you go south towards that other castle, and then Caelid's like its own thing.
Yeah.
And the way it kind of evolves in, like, there's some really cool points of interest. Like, there's this, you'll see.
Well, I just went to Volcano Manor last night. I just saved
I
in there.
didn't do Volcano Manor. It looked really cool, but I didn't do it.
So I just got there last night and went to the site of Grace or whatever, and just kind of saved right there. So that's where I'm at. I might actually play through Volcano Manor tonight. But outside of that, playing, I guess it's not Kena, it's Kena. Kena, no, it's actually Kena technically. Kena Bridge of Spirits on PS5. Dude, I'm still loving this game. It's so good. It is absolutely gorgeous. The puzzles that are in there they're not like super hard, but they're challenging enough that it makes you kind of question, okay, where do I got to go? What do I have to hit? Like, we were in an area where we had to throw down like these spirit bombs basically, or these energy bombs, and it would like lift up a whole bunch of platforms, and you have to shoot various platforms to kind of change direction, time it the right way. Absolutely fantastic game. And if Elden Ring and a few other games hadn't come out this year, I honestly think it could probably have been a Game of the Year contender. Yes.
Summoning a spirit bomb.
Oh, you're summoning spirit. Oh, I see. And one other thing. I started One Piece.
Yes, you did. I'm so proud of you, John.
I don't know what...
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
There are poor decisions I make in life, and One Piece is one of them. So, yeah. So that's it, Ryan. That's all I've got this week.
Alrighty. So, first up, Playdate update. Nothing to report. I did find a cool spreadsheet thing online. If you reserved a Playdate, you can search for Playdate spreadsheet, and there should be a link to a Reddit where you can submit your order number and what your status is right now, so that they can like keep track. So right now, up to 12,802 has been shipped, and I am 13,707.
Oh, you're getting close.
Yeah. So I'm within 1,000.
Nice.
So
it's going to suck if after 500, like, oh, we had a chip shortage or manufacturing issue.
Well, they already manufactured the first 20,000. They're shipping them out in waves.
Why are they shipping them out in waves? That makes no sense.
Because they're like a team, and they've got to package all of it and get it shipped out. So like they can only probably process so many hundreds a week.
How much was it?
It's
like 200 something.
No, I think it was like 159 with the cover. Let me see. No, sorry, 214 with the cover and shipping.
And shipping included.
Yeah.
That. Okay, so they're probably getting about 150 per. Okay, yeah.
And there's people now that are like, oh, I didn't order the cover. And they're like tweeting at them, and they're like, sorry.
Yeah.
Hopefully the covers will be out the door faster, but I'm still waiting on the docking station to get announced. So that'll be sweet if I can get my hands on that.
Yeah, I'm stoked to have that so we can do a review on it.
Yeah. Other than that, I haven't booted up the Xbox all week. Shame. So I haven't played anything or picked up any new Game Pass games. Much like John, One Piece is happening at my house. I am building a model of the Thousand Sunny, and I will send you a picture. John doesn't even know what that means yet.
I do not, but it is a boat, and it is very happy looking, which kind of falls into the One Piece realm. You should definitely put it on like our Instagram and all that good stuff.
I'll post it up. This week just kind of flew by. I didn't even realize it had come and it's gone already. So, yeah, not much gaming for me this week, except for the secret game.
What the hell is the secret game?
You'll find out one day, John. You'll find out one day.
Like, is it a long game?
It's a game.
Are you actually beating Persona?
No.
Okay, well then...
It's a secret. Why would I tell you if it's a secret?
For some reason, I think that this game is called The Secret. I need to look this up, see if there's a game called The Secret.
Right? That's like every time my wife asks me like what I'm getting her for a gift, I say it's books.
Because that could
no matter what it is, I just say I'm getting you books, and then she asks what kind of books. I say hardcover, or fiction, or something stupid.
Jesus, you know what? You should give us some like hints so people can try and guess it on like Twitter and whatnot.
It's a game that I have talked about on the show before.
Oh. Okay. So listen back to all of our old episodes.
Yeah, if you haven't caught up to everything that's ever come out of our mouths on the internet, you need to rewind, go back in time, do a good binge, and let us know what you
While you're at it, transcribe all of it for us and send it my way. That'd be great. Okay. Well, I'm semi-excited to see what this
You should be,
game
John.
is.
You should be.
Is it something that I've told you to play?
I mean, there's lots of stuff you've told me to play.
Okay. Yeah, I know. That's why I wouldn't be able to pin it down. I'm just kind of curious. Then I can listen back to all of our episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, outside of a mystery game, this week we're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff. And the first thing here is a rumor that there is a potential Mario Kart Tour PC game coming out based on some data mining that occurred. And this was Nintendo Life, and it is Gavin Lane who wrote this up. And you know, I don't think we need to really dive into is it real, is it not? I think it's more so an idea of Nintendo being on PC in general, and do we ever see that happening in the future? And do we even want to see that happen?
So the way this is kind of all going down, too, is a little bit more roundabout. It's not necessarily that Nintendo is going to be like, hey, we're going to put out a tweet that, you know, coming to PC near you, Mario Kart. This is a part of Google Play's Google Play PC initiative where you'll be able to play games through Google Play. And, you know, it could be that maybe Nintendo just needs to have the game capable of that service in order to maintain something. Or, you know, there could be other reasons, I guess, that they're opting to make their system compatible with that. But, you know, in all likelihood, it's not going to change a lot of lives, I don't think. And honestly, I mean, there's been Nintendo games on PC before, right? Like there's like Mario Teaches Typing and stuff.
Yeah, actually I have that.
So, I mean, it's not like this is the first Nintendo on PC game ever, but God, it does kind of suck if this is going to be like the first one that, I don't know, has some momentum behind it, or is the first one that actually makes money. You know, that would be kind of sad. Like, it would be really cool for Nintendo to take charge and be like, hey, we're going to Nintendo up the PC and do, like, physical release Nintendo PC games. Like, that would be, like, something people would get behind. But that's never going to happen. Like, I'm sure they don't even make that many, like, physical release PC games anymore.
No, not really. And
like, who sells them? I don't see them anywhere.
I mean, I see them all the time, but I think it's usually codes nowadays and you just download it. It's been a long time since I played a PC game. Like, I don't have a
Like,
disc.
can you still go to Target and buy a PC game in a box? Or do you just get, like, a little hanger tag?
I'm pretty sure you
with
can
a code
still,
on it.
I think you still get them with the box. And so it's been a long time, but I think you still get them with the box and instruction manual, all that. and then there's a code to obviously download it. But like, I don't have a disk drive on my PC.
Yeah.
Like, why? You know, there's no purpose.
We had to buy an external one.
I don't even need an external one because I don't ever plan on putting discs in there.
Right.
But you know, it's funny when you mentioned Mario Kart typing, or not Mario Kart typing.
Mario Kart typing.
That would be great, actually. Kind of like typing of the Dead, but with Mario Kart. That'd be pretty sweet. But no, as you mentioned Mario typing, I was looking around the room, and it's been over a year since I've been in this house, and over a year that we haven't had video games. And I'm like, oh, it's up there. Wait, no, it's not.
I know, I'm always looking behind you, and I just noticed today for the first time there's a book, Hey Wiffle, Squeeze This.
Oh, that's...
and I'm like, what is this book?
It's a marketing book. It actually is a marketing book. So, yeah, where the hell is that? Is that behind me over here?
No, it's down here.
Hey, Whipple, squeeze this. What? Actually, maybe that isn't a marketing book. Oh, no, that is. The silver one?
Next to the silver
Next one. Yeah, that is a marketing book. Yeah. I have lots of marketing books here for whatever reason.
For market research.
For market research, yeah. It's really just kind of continued education, I guess. Yeah, so as far as PC games are concerned, Nintendo, I would honestly want to see something like Splatoon on PC. I think that would be a great transition. I just don't see where something like Mario Kart really fits, right?
Well, and this is like the auto Mario Kart. Like, this is the one for mobile.
So why would you even want to play that on PC? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like
Fire Emblem, they've made a ton of money. That's like there was data that came out this week. Like, it's done like over $1 billion in revenue since it came out. The Fire Emblem Heroes for the phone. I used to be like addicted to that game. I played that game a ton for like almost a whole year solid. And then they made it too complex for me to really want to entwangle myself in anymore. And I got tired of the gacha game. But like, that would be a much better one to put on computer. A little tactics game that's quick that you could just have open in like a little window while you're doing stuff. Boom, easy.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think when you think PC and you think Nintendo, I think the transition has to be right. And I think you have to have a game that is really going to be okay on both. And that's really why I kind of throw Splatoon in the mix there, because you do have that shooter aspect. And that's what, you know, a lot of PC players enjoy, shooters, and amongst other games. But I just can't see that type of Mario Kart transitioning well on the PC. And I don't see a reason to play it on the PC, because you're either going to have to buy a wheel, which I guess in Nintendo's world, it means another peripheral, right, that you can purchase to put on your PC, or you have to play with a controller. And at that point, why even bother?
Yeah,
you know, just play it on the Switch or play it on your phone.
I would really think that if Nintendo was going to branch out into releasing games on PC, it wouldn't necessarily be Nintendo games, because they want those driving the sales of their systems. But I could see, like, maybe in a couple years down the road, Nintendo starts to feel more comfortable with the idea, and they let Ubisoft on their like Ubisoft Play service have Mario Rabbids available through their own launcher. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't be on Steam. It would still be in a walled garden with limited stuff, so that Nintendo knows what the heck's going on with it. And, you know, it's adjacent Nintendo, not core Nintendo.
Adjacent Nintendo.
And they're trusting another company to do the thing, because then they don't have to invest in making their own launcher and blah, 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 blah.
Nintendo trusting another company? Oh, no. Yeah, I can't. I don't even know if that would be a thing. Like, it's just hard to see Nintendo honestly putting things on PC to begin with. I was shocked they did anything with mobile. But I guess when they saw success of things like Pokemon, they were like, oh, we just need to branch out because we're going to make a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
And, well, they have. All right. On with continued rumors here. Actually, today's things we're talking about are all rumors, really.
Rumor has it.
Nintendo Switch Pro unveiled in September from the same insider as Splatoon on the 3DS, it looks like. You have 3S? I don't know what
That's
that
what
is.
it says.
Yeah, 3S, weird. 3S Switch OLED. Okay, so basically...
Splatoon 3s.
Oh, Splatoon 3s, and it's all capitalized because, you know, we don't believe in... Yeah. Okay, Splatoon 3 Switch OLED. All right, so basically...
Splatoon 3S OLED.
OLED edition.
I think it looks good. Have you seen the console?
I have not, but this is Game News 24, and this is Mason at Game News 24. You know, I have not seen the console, but it does go into discussion on, you know, Nintendo's not in this whole race for power. They're in this whole deal for just making sure that everybody's having a good time, and I think we're beyond that with Nintendo at this point. I think that we really do need to see some power coming out of their consoles. Right now, it's an indie gaming machine is really what you're rolling to me. What am I looking at? What is this? Oh, that actually looks pretty sweet. I like the Joy-Cons on that too. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, this guy, the same person that's saying that there is a Switch Pro coming out in the future is the same one that pretty much uncovered Splatoon 3's Switch OLED version.
Yeah, he kind of leaked that out, and also has been rumoring this other Switch Pro whatever that we've been hearing about forever. I was just listening to Spawnwave talk about this morning, and if they do announce it in September and then release it in like February, March alongside Breath of the Wild 2, I mean, they're basically just reenacting the Switch launch all over again. And I mean, the controversy that I hear is that, why would they announce this Switch Splatoon version that they're going to try to sell throughout the holidays, but right before that announce another system that's not going to be available until after the holidays? Isn't that going to dig into their holiday sales? Well, if there's two coming out and people still got to get one present for Christmas, this is going to be the newest one that's out, so it'll still sell. I mean, the fact that the Switch is still selling and the fact that they're still counting on it being like a top-selling console this late into its life when everybody's just dying to hear about the next one, like, for God's sake, just give it to me so we have to stop rumoring about it. Like, just announce it in September like this guy is rumoring and have it be done with.
Well, and honestly, I think, it obviously isn't like hurting Nintendo sales by all means, but you got to kind of figure, what if they didn't have all these rumors floating around? What if they just kind of straight up said there is absolutely no Switch Pro coming out?
That's what they've said before.
Well, they have, but like everybody knows that Nintendo lies. So, they've said it, right? But they've also multiple times has said that there are considerations for things down the road, and it's something that they're being mindful, but they haven't found the right shtick, right? Like, they're always about the gimmick nowadays.
Just do this, but more powerful.
That's all they have to do. Like, that's all people want. Like, make it backwards compatible. Give us really the Switch with more power and backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
That's all we want. And we don't need a new shtick.
Maybe fix the Joy-Cons. Although I don't think that's going to happen. Did we talk about the repair thing?
No, not recently.
Oh, did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, so they announced a repair service. So it's like, I think it's like $15 a year or something. And you get
thing, yeah. It's like
6 repairs or something. Like, you could just send them like your whole Switch console like 3 times a year.
Huh. Interesting. I did see that subscription the other day. I think we shared it with one another, or we just probably read it on our own. But, as far as Joy-Cons are concerned, you can pick up third-party Joy-Con pieces and just redo it yourself.
Yeah, I have the repair kit at home, and I haven't done it yet.
It's the easiest repair.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a few minutes to do it. So, you don't need anything special. You just need, like, the screwdriver, which most repair kits will give you to open up the controls.
I think I spent $20, and it came with 4 joysticks.
Yeah.
All, like, 2 screwdrivers, like a little like mat. Like, it came with literally everything you need.
Yeah, and it's all you really need.
For $20.
Yeah, and even some of them will have like caps that you can put on top of your analog sticks on the joystick. So I got that in mind. In fact, I think I still have some extras. I should have just given you that for yours, so you didn't have to buy anything. But look, go to Amazon, pick up a kit. It's super cheap. You can do it yourself. You don't have to send to Nintendo, wait however long. I used to do it for PlayStation 3 controllers when I had issues with that. I can probably do it on PS4 controllers and PS5 down the road. Controllers are the easiest thing to mess with.
Yeah.
They really are.
So I had sent one of my Joy-Cons in and then got it back. And then the other one went out. And while I was setting the one in, I borrowed my friend's. Yeah. And one of his went out. And that was... that's back when I was playing Cave Blazers all the time.
Oh, yeah. So you were destroying your controller. But, as far as console repair is concerned, if there is a service that allows you to send your console in, a few times a year if need be, I think that's honestly a great deal, especially at like $1 a month, essentially, or like $1.20 a month, whatever it comes out to.
Why wouldn't they, like... that's $15. Like, why not just make it like an extra $5 and make like a super premium Nintendo Online plus repair kit? Like, that would be a way better addition to like the already subscription fee that they have than, oh, here was like some Animal Crossing stuff and here's like a bunch of tracks for Mario Kart 8. Like, that is a part of the service that would be usable to everybody. Yeah. Not that almost everybody that has a Switch doesn't have Mario Kart at this point in time.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's limitations as to like what can be repairs. Like, it's probably just faulty hardware and whatnot, not, oh, my kid spilled something on it.
No, I think it might be water too.
Really? Interesting.
Maybe.
Okay. So I can throw my Switch in a pool and get a new one?
I know. Like, I've got some scratches on my screen right now. Maybe if I just want to take a week off, just hit it with a hammer in the middle and send it back.
Now you're just talking insurance fraud on the podcast.
I didn't say anything about that.
All right. Well, let us know if you think that this Switch Pro rumor is true. I'm all for a Switch Pro as long as it, and I know like how we call it the Switch Pro because it's Sony with the PlayStation 4 Pro, but I'm all for like another version of this console so long as it has backwards compatibility and Nintendo doesn't just go for like the next big shtick, because you don't need to. You're showing success with this console. There's no purpose in having a whole new gimmick going on. Like,
just make a really fun name. Just do the super new Nintendo Switch to you.
The Super Nintendo... That's awesome. The Super Nintendo Switch would actually be... I think that would sell pretty well if you called it Super Nintendo Switch.
Right.
I think that would work. All right, next thing is another rumor here. It is a Sony patent will allow accessories from old PlayStations to work on new consoles. This is, it looks like Vadim Osiuk, it looks like, from Gadget. I could not see a name for whatever reason there. With the new screens that I have now, it's still a little small for me.
It's Gadget.
Gadget.
Yeah, there's an extra G.
Gadget. Okay, so I was looking at this one earlier, and it's basically saying that there's a patent out there that will allow you to use like your PS3 controllers, your iToy, your
PlayStation
mouse, all of these crazy things on your like PlayStation
old
1
memory
controllers,
cards.
Yeah, like everything on your PS5, right? I don't see the purpose in this. I really don't, because the controller has not changed over the years, right? Like,
they added analogs.
It's changed. Yeah, they added.
This would allow you to use unanalogged.
You don't. Yeah, but you could use a DualShock 2 or DualShock 1, I guess, on a PlayStation 1 for PS1 games that do not have analog setup. Like, you can do that. It's not a big deal. So I don't see the purpose in this.
I think this is more like they did the thing so that other people wouldn't do the thing.
I guess.
Because, I mean, who else would develop it, though? Like, it's probably just a patent that's never going to turn into anything. I'm sure there's thousands of those.
The only thing that you would realistically need for this is an adapter, which was on PlayStation 3. An adapter that will allow you to put your old memory cards into the console. So if you have older games and you don't have a way to transfer data from said old games on there, that's how you do it. That's the only reason I could see them wanting to be able to do, like, memory cards, and that's it, right? We can release a new iToy. In fact, there's a second iToy, I think, that came out years later.
The iToy failed the first time. There's not enough people out there to need to support bringing back the iToy.
Yeah, so we don't need another iToy, first off. So that's one big thing. Also, like I said, with the controllers, right? Nothing has really changed, right? So all of the features that you would need for PS1 games are already in the PlayStation 5 controller. Anything for PS2 is already in there. PS3, guess what? Yeah, the whole like 6-axis component, that's kind of already in this new controller. You could still do things and shake the controller and all of that. So not a big deal there. PS4, not very different from PS5, other than they changed a few things up, the haptic feedback, all of that. So everything there is there. Why would you need to put peripherals like controllers on the PlayStation 5? It just doesn't, like, that makes absolutely no sense to me.
It's like, for people that want that authentic playing on original hardware,
then go play the original hardware.
But they don't want the original hardware part. They just want the original accessories. They're like, I don't know about buying a whole PS2 and a bunch of old games, But an old PS2 controller, that I could get my hands on.
We just played it. It sucks. I've been playing PS5 all week, and we just played PS2 games today for another future episode we're going to be doing on a future Triple Threat Showdown. And it's like, it's night and day, man. Like, the PS5 controller is so much better than the DualShock 2. And just that transition, I was like, man, this kind of sucks, you know, when you think about like what you're playing on now. So like, why would you? Yeah, I just think it's baffling. It's stupid. I don't think it's... I just don't see this being like a patent that they're going to move forward with. And again, it's a patent, right? So patents don't have to actually come to fruition. It's just a patent that's been done.
It's just so nobody else can do it.
So yeah, like you said, nobody else can do it, but there is
not that they would. Like, could you imagine a third party investing time and research and money into making this happen?
Yeah. We're going to bring old school controllers and iToys to, like, you know what? It's a sign. I just went to Goodwill the other day and they have the iPet game on PS3. It's sitting on the shelf over there by my Goodwill. It's a sign.
This is why we can't find any PS2 controllers.
Exactly.
Because they're hoarding them.
They're hoarding them so they can put them on the PS5 and relaunch them as new. That's what it is. Yeah. Stupid. Any thoughts on your end here?
Nope. It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. It's happening. All right. Inflation, deflation. Ryan, why did you put Devil's Third with 3RD when it's THIRD?
Same number.
It's not correct. All right. So this is Devil's Third, developed by Valhalla Studios, and it was published by Nintendo, actually. There was a online version called Nexon, I think, is the company that published that. So all very interesting stuff. I will say the online portion of this game was actually like disbanded after a year, before a year of the game's release. So we'll get some history here, or you probably looked it up more than I did. But directed by Tomonobu Itagaki, is that right? Tomonobu Itagaki. And it was released in December of 2015. It is an action-adventure hack-and-slash shooter. And wonderful, wonderful reception of 4 out of 10 on this game. Yeah.
Famitsu actually gave it good reviews in Japan.
Yeah, I wonder if their character spoke in Japanese. I would think so, which would make 100% sense given how he looks and all the tattoos he has on are not what I would expect for his voice actor. So Devil's Third pretty much puts you in a situation where the U.S. government is trying to, I guess, has some issues with the Soviets, and so they decide we're going to reach out to this guy, Ivan, who is sitting in a prison in Guantanamo Bay, all tatted up in Japanese tattoos and Japanese like imagery on his back, and he's Russian. So they say, we're going to fight the Soviets with a Russian guy. And that's their grand plan. So like you said, fight fire with fire. Not to say that all Russians are Soviets, but you get the point. Right. And so, so you bust out of his prison, and it is a lot of gore and punching and difficulty and terrible
camera angles. It's got those weird, like, slow-mo, like, kill scenes.
It's got weird slow-mo kill scenes. It has, like, this Japanese move technique thing, like, where you channel your inner chi to do, like, special attacks and then take the souls of your people that you've killed to help power you up, which is...
Wait, what?
You didn't notice that?
No, I did not see that part.
You apparently weren't paying attention.
I was not paying attention at all.
So there is totally moves where, and it says, like, when you kill enemies, take their power and their souls or whatever and bind them to yourself to create more power, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. As interesting as it could get. So you basically are busting out of his prison, Guantanamo Bay. You have the whole prison's gone crazy. People are shooting. They've randomly picked up AK-47s and stuff and other like shotguns out of nowhere. And you walk around with a lead pipe, beating people's heads in, and literally their heads exploding. So very gory. Not what I expect. Like, honestly, like as we played through this, I'm like, why is this on the Wii U? Like, of all consoles for this to be on the Wii U? So that was odd in itself. But as you kind of progress, in my opinion, Ryan, going through this game, I felt that the controls just got worse and worse for me as we went through. Like, certain guns were just bad to play with. Hip fire was okay, but when you went into like actually not toggle, but like kind of review
look down
area,
sights.
Yeah, look down sights and whatnot, like iron sights, it was absolutely terrible trying to manage that and shoot a gun. Like, nothing was ever locking on the way it needed to. I felt a little compelled to the story, like to continue progressing because I did find it a bit interesting, breaking out of prison and then somehow ending up working with the government. Like, you would think that the government would just be like, hey, we need this guy, so we're just going to take him.
Well, the prison was being rioted.
It was, yeah.
So they couldn't just come get you. You had to break out.
You had to break out. I get it. But, like...
I mean, he was down in his prison cell just jamming out on a giant drum set, drinking some whiskey, talking to the president, like most prisoners.
Yeah, and 850-year life sentence, which makes sense, right?
But he's the go-to.
But, yeah.
He's like Shadow the Hedgehog. That's how cool this guy is.
I guess, yeah. Except... I think Idris Elba would have been a better voice actor.
Yeah, the game itself, if anybody... John hasn't heard of Ride to Hell Retribution. Ride to Hell Retribution is a notoriously terrible game. This game feels like if Ride to Hell Retribution got like $100,000 more or another $1 million, I don't know, some amount of extra money enough to polish it up, and it's still bad. Like, it feels like that.
Well, and at first, the darker scenes actually seemed okay. Like, when we were in the prison, I felt like, okay, graphically, this isn't bad. It's, you're going through your various pathways and hitting and killing enemies. Like, that's cool. When you actually got out of the prison and on your second mission, and they dropped you off in the street and you're fighting, like, tanks and other, enemies, like, in this battle that's going on, that, to me, like, the graphics just took a downturn. Like, it just looked bad at that point as that progressed. And you're right. Like, a little more polished look probably would have been better. Same thing for, like, the audio quality.
Audio was the one thing that...
It was grainy.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, super grainy audio. And we tested, like, other things. Like, I was watching One Piece beforehand on my soundbar. No issues. We put some YouTube music on. No issues. Devil's Third. Absolute hot garbage with that. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get super far. We beat those tanks. We kind of progressed through. We got the gist of it, what the game was all about. Could kind of get a sense for his controls, his visuals, the audio components, like a lot of things people care about, right, before they jump into a game. And I guess my overall review, I would say, I would stick to this, like, 4 out of 10 area. I think that it's got some potential, but it really does need to be polished. Audio quality is bad. Iron sights are terrible. Controls are very odd, especially when you play on a Wii U gamepad. I would highly suggest playing on a Pro controller if you're going to play this game.
Yeah, the Wii U gamepad, it just says hold the controller in the middle of the screen so you don't forget to put the controller down while you're playing the game.
Well, no,
it's very important.
It says to hold down on the controller because if hold down on the screen, so that way if you want to play it on like just screen only, you can do that, which is a huge... Hold. Yeah, I remember that game. Which is actually a huge benefit to the Wii U that nobody really kind of considers. I absolutely love being able to say, like, oh, you want to watch TV? Okay, hold on. Let me pop in some headphones and play on just my screen for a few hours and put it down.
That's what the Switch is for.
Well, yeah, except the Switch, you can't, there's no either or. There's no, oh, I want to stream it to the TV from my handheld mode.
Yeah, you just plug it in and take the Joy-Cons off. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I get it. Like, but at the same time, there's no like quick transition. Like, I know what you mean. Yeah, I get it. But I don't want to have to undock and all that. Like, I don't have to undock because I'm using the control and I'm transitioning to a screen right off the bat. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But what were your overall thoughts on this game outside of graininess, poor eyesight, all of that good stuff?
So we didn't spend a lot of time with the game. I had some struggles with the game. I think the
bats really got you.
Yeah, the bats were vicious. The melee combat was, kind of whatever. It was like you do like a 2 or 3 combo, and then you do this like slow-mo kill hit if you hit them all 3 times or something. I don't know. Light, heavy attack, they didn't really feel or seem like different enough for me to really care. We got the machete. It felt worse than the lead pipe. There was some like mechanic for throwing your weapon I didn't engage with. The shooting was all right. I just didn't feel like the guns had any feedback to them really. Like,
they all felt the same.
Yeah, they all felt the same, except for there was this one gun I thought was going to be a shotgun or something, but it was this like little like BB gun machine gun that was like terrible and felt bad. Like, nothing in this game felt good. The jumps were terrible. Like, there were these little ledges all over the place that was just like, well, you're not jumping this fence. And kind of dumb. I fell off a ledge because he didn't like wall grab. There's a pretty heavy emphasis on cover shooting because you absolutely get shredded if you go out in front of people because you're not wearing any shirt, I guess. The tattoos don't protect you from bullets.
I don't. Meanwhile, that first boss set we fought, I unloaded multiple clips directly into the guy. And he was not dying, but he would shoot 3 or 4 times, and you had to like duck cover again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty casual about shooters these days. I used to really dig a bunch of shooters, but I've often thought like, oh, maybe I should pick up like a new shooter and go play that. Like that would be fun. But this is not one that I was like feeling like I really wanted to engage with. And I love on the show that we don't have to give it like a number rating. We just have to look at the price of the game and see if we think it's worth the price. And you know what? For a game this bad, there's no freaking way it's worth the price.
Well, hold on. Before you dive into that, you did look up a stat earlier in a number of North American copies that were actually sent out to GameStop, and it was like less than 500. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 420 copies or something for like all of the online for GameStop.
Yeah. So that number, I mean, you can probably assume maybe less than 1,000 were sent out to the U.S.
It's rumored to have sold only 3,000 copies in North America in its first month of release in the region. However, limited copies were available at launch.
Yeah. So we're talking less than 5,000 copies for this game. For a game that is going to no longer be available online for purchase. Because it's a Wii U game and they're closing that store, right? So this is an interesting situation because you do have a game that is unique in that it is kind of rare, but it is crappy at the same time. I will agree with you, though. At $417.26, it is not worth it. It's totally inflated at this price point. I own a new copy, like sealed and shrink wrap, all that good stuff. It is not worth it.
Would you pay for the online copy?
For my sealed copy, I actually paid $350.
No, the online, the digital.
Oh, $30, I think.
$30. Okay, so $30 is your going rate to play the game.
But you can't because they're closing the store down, or it's already.
Well, you could go online and buy it now, right?
I don't think you can.
Is it already too late? When did you buy it?
I bought it like it was a week before it was supposed to close. I don't know. We got to look and see if the store is closed now, but I'm pretty sure it is.
All right. Well, then you're screwed.
You're screwed. Yeah.
So the going rate, complete in box going $417.26. That peaked out at $521.92 back in April of 22. That's holding right now. Loose copy will put you back $313. That peaked at $360.77 back in May of 22, and that's holding right now too. So pretty pricey.
Actually, as of late March 2023, it will no longer be possible to make purchases in Nintendo eShop for the Wii U system and.
So you got a few months yet.
You got about 8 months.
Yeah.
Roughly. Yeah.
So you could get in, you could spend $30, you could have this be a part of your legacy digital collection, or you could literally do anything else with that $30 and probably be fine.
Yeah. So here is,
unless you could sell that Wii U later on because it has a copy of Devil's Third and that increases the value of the console itself.
Well, people do that with PT on their PlayStation consoles.
Yeah.
Like if they have the demo installed. So my advice is I would pick it up at $30, not because it is worth $30, but because it's no longer going to be available for that $30 soon, 2023, as we said. So your options right now are spend $30 to experience the game and see what it's like. You can watch YouTube videos if you want, or you can try playing it, or spend, $300+ on a loose copy or a complete in box copy, or if you're really wanting it, a new copy, which I'm very, very happy I bought my new copy when I did. So, that's really your options. And honestly, looking at the game, is it that bad? Yeah, I think it's pretty cringeworthy bad. but I think it's still something worth playing through. And I think at $30, you know, if Nintendo has some sort of deal going on where maybe you can get it discounted, like they have 10% off all games or some crap like that, it might be worth it.
Yeah, if they do like a fire sale the day before they shut down the service or something.
Yeah, if they do some sort of fire sale, whatever, like I think regardless you should pick this up just because, like you said, you'll have it on the console. If it's too expensive, you can always say, hey, Devil's Third on my Wii U console, it's normally, who knows, by the time it's off, you know how these things go, man. Like when the DuckTales Remastered was taken off consoles or whatever period of time, those games shot up in value almost overnight because it was removed. Devil's Third has a lot less copies, I think, sold than, DuckTales Remastered, and is already at a high price point. Can you imagine March 2023 as this game goes up to? Because it's only available physical at that point. So I think go digital and definitely see what it's all about. So, all right, Ryan, I don't know what to play next week. I really don't. We didn't really consider that. Maybe you should get your PlayStation 1 fixed.
Yeah, maybe I should, John.
Maybe you should. Or we could just play another game on our PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get it all figured out. That's the story every week, right? All right, well, this has been episode 191 of the Game Deflators Podcast. My name's John.
I'm Ryan.
And thanks for listening.